Nichola Clark joins us now for more on International Day for Biological Diversity. She's an officer for protecting ocean life on the high seas for the Pew Charitable Trusts. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, on this special day, what are you most optimistic about, and what are the biggest challenges that remain?
I think we just heard about the Kunming Montreal Global Biodiversity which set out a global goal of protecting 30% of the ocean, which is a really exciting and important goal for the global community to have. But until very recently, we actually didn't have a way to protect most of the ocean, which is found in the high seas. The high seas are those parts of the area of the ocean that lie 200 nautical miles from shore and make up nearly 2/3 of the ocean and cover almost half of the surface of the planet. And quite recently, in March of this year, we finally, after about 2 decades of talking about it, finally the UN finalized a treaty text for a new treaty that would enable the global community to protect the high seas. So I think one of the things I'm most excited about is this new high seas treaty. Some challenges in store. We still actually have to make sure that we finalize, ratify, and implement the treaty. So while we've got some good news, we still have a lot of work to do.
I want to get to that in just a minute, but some pretty big conservation and restoration goals to meet by the end of the decade by many countries. And this theme, building back biodiversity. So do you think these goals can be met, given what you just said? And where do you begin? It's such a big, encompassing, sort of daunting task.
Absolutely. I think, yes, they are really bold and big and audacious goals. But I also think that we're moving in the direction that scientists say we need to be moving. I think just 20 years ago, having a goal of protecting 30% on the ocean, having that be approved by the international community would have been laughed at, unheard of. And here we are, having recently accomplished it. So I think while it is a bold goal, I think that the global community recognizes and has prioritized that it is something that's really important for us to work towards. So I feel hopeful that we will be able to leverage the resources and the energy and the political momentum to really work forward to achieve those goals. Where do we start? Of course, my expertise is in international waters, which is not to say there are a lot of coastal areas that are really worthy of protection, and there are folks working really hard to do that. But in international waters, I think it really depends on what it is that you want to protect. But to say that there is science out there, there's a number of scientific studies that have highlighted if our goal is protecting 30% of the ocean, here's some of the 30% of these high seas places that we might want to start focusing our efforts.
And we have just a little bit of time left, but Nichola, it's really about putting all of these agreements, these plans into action, because, I mean, everyone can agree, but it's about implementing everything.
That's right. That's right. Implementing it effectively and coherently. I think we want to make sure that all the international community is reminded of the commitments that they make in one global body, they remember in another global body, so that they're acting consistently in all of the many international fora and platforms that they're operating, and using all of these tools that we have together to sort of really make an impact on the water.
All right, Nichola Clark, great to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining us from New York.
Thank you.